because we've been in it for a while. Now, if I believe that about her, how much more? There's some things I just believe about him. I don't care what happens, I won't change in that. We magnify you, Lord Jesus. Yes, we do, Lord. Yes, we do. Yes, we do, Jesus. We magnify you, Jesus. We magnify you, Lord. Yes, we do. Come on, do you trust in this morning? That's what I hear. I hear the Lord say, just trust me. Just believe me. Just trust me. Do you believe me? I hear the Lord say, just believe me. Just trust me. Just believe me. Just trust me. Father, we give you the Lord. We give you the Lord. Father, thank you, Lord. Pray with me. Father, we give you the Lord. Father, we give you the honor. Father, we give you the praise. Father, we worship you. Let me just ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. After a period of time in relationship, there's just some things you know this woman, right? Y'all been together a while. There's some things that you just believe about her, right? Can a trial challenge that belief? You just know her, some things, you know. Because you can't stay here and not want to really do Jesus. This is not a comfortable church to have a form of godliness in. It's just not. It's going to be, and that's where a lot of us are right now. I'm talking about, it's very uncomfortable. The fire has been turned up. It is. And the pruning of God's prayer, He is pruning. Yes, He is. He is chastening some of us. And it's all right. It's okay. He got it. I'm not going to even get into the depth of the word. I think I'm going to stay in this encouraging vein. Because there is a word that God gave me. Wasn't sure when I'm going to bring it, but I'll bring it next week. And it is a word concerning the church. Not this church alone, the church as a whole. And just to give you some food for thought, it's called, and it's an oxymoron. It shouldn't even, the two words shouldn't be used in the same sentence. The secular church. Should those two words ever be used? We are witnessing the rise of the secular church. We are witnessing right now today the rise of the church that says, well, what's wrong with a little bit of this? What's wrong with a little bit of that? Well, what's wrong with doing this? Ain't nothing wrong with doing that. Well, we can do this, we can do that. It's the secular church. The church is taking the same, they are conforming to the world right now. And major church leaders are accepting it and just moving with it. We'll leave that for another day. God told me to tell you these things, though. I'm real simple. I put up the whole book I wrote. And I just wanted, he said, tell them, tell them, give them these words again and tell them to pray against this. This is some instruction. The word distraction. He said, tell them to pray against, I'm giving y'all something to war to take to your prayer closet and war. Distraction. Distractions are a thing that prevents someone from giving full attention to something else. That's definition one.
The second definition, and it's the one that I think that is more right for the time and for the church, is extreme agitation of the mind or emotions. Now listen to it. Extreme agitation of the mind or the emotion. The enemy, tell me where the enemy is not hitting people's brains right now. People's minds are all over the place. They can't plug in, can't hold their attention for 5 minutes in church. Some synonyms are frenzy, hysteria, insanity, mania. Mania just means you don't know which emotion you want to be in a given day. People can't deal with you because you're up sometime and down the other time. Who are you today? That's mania. But that's what distractions. Extreme agitation of the mind. Second word, diversion. A diversion is something that takes someone's attention away from something else. Basically the same thing. Okay, but this is the second definition. A change in purpose or use of something that was intended for the use of something else. In other words, it's taking you off the path or where you are, your original path, and allowed you. Now this is the trick. Some of the things that's causing the God's people to divert themselves from purpose is something that they said God gave them. So it might be a business. It may be your job. It might be school, your children. But it's pulling your attention away from the direction God really wants you in. The problem with that is correcting that is difficult because it is something, after all, that God gave you. But it has become greater than God himself. And it's a trick of the adversary. I'm just giving you some words to pray about. Last word, detour. Detour. A long or roundabout route taken to avoid something. Or another way beyond the way that was originally formed to go. Ooh. People are tired of waiting for God to unfold things. Y'all hear me, men of God? See, when you get tired of waiting for God to do it, then after a while you decide to do it yourself. I'm going to take a detour. But detours always lead you far out of the way and usually leads you into lost. Because it's not an area one designed for that way, and it's definitely not the way God sent you. Distractions, diversions, or detour. They hit your mind, they hit your pocketbook. This is the message today. I'm done. I'll preach what I had next week. And for the next several weeks, I'm going to stay on the topic of the secular church. And then he told me, he said, encourage you with this. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7, we know what it is. But we have these treasures. Yeah. Okay, listen, yeah. But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that it's all surpassing power is from God and not from us. Okay. God put something priceless into pots that he knew could be broken. He could have put it in Fort Knox. He could have put it in something. He put his most prized possession into pots that he knew, clay pots. That was his intent. His intent was for what was in the pot to break the pot. You know what I'm saying? He meant for the treasure to break the pot. Because the treasure was not for the pot. Is your treasure is what's in you? Is God in you for you? Who the gift of God on the inside of you, who does it belong to? Yeah, it belongs, and for what? For his purpose, right? To go and spread the treasure, right? So how can you get it out unless it's broken? You got to break the pot. So some of us are experiencing the breaking to get what's good in the pot out of it. You're experiencing what he always intended. For what? For the treasure was always meant to break the pot. We are hard pressed. Now, what I love, Pastor Parker, was, and I'm not trying to preach, I'm just talking to my family. This is all family here. What I love is, he gave us the answer. In 7, he gave us the answer from 8 to 12. Our defense is 7. Then he told us what we would war with. God just like that. So he said, I gave you all you need. The treasure in your vessel. Why? Because we are hard pressed on every side. So I gave you a treasure. But because of the treasure, you're not crushed. Perplexed, but because of the treasure, you're not in despair. If you let the treasure do what? If you let the treasure break the pot. I don't know, maybe it sounded better in my head than it does out loud. Verse 9, persecuted but not abandoned because of the treasure. Struck down but not destroyed because of the treasure. What's the cost of the treasure? Always carrying around in our bodies the death of Jesus. That's the treasure. Okay. So there is a cost for not being persecuted, not being abandoned, or not being struck down, or not being crushed. All these things that the treasure keep us from, there's a cost. No, verse 10 says the cost. Always carrying around the death of Jesus. The price of it is, the treasure is Jesus. So in order to experience these things, we're going to experience the suffering. Amen. So, God is purposeful in how he does his book. He told us the treasure. Then he told us these are the things that treasure to keep us from. But there's still a cost. You're going to always feel conflict. In other words, the treasure going to keep you from being overwhelmed by any of these things, but you're going to go through it still. You're going to still feel his dying. Always carry around in our body the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be revealed in our body. You're going to experience one to get to the other. You're going to have more seasons like this where you don't get it, but we have this what? For we who are alive are always being given over to death for Jesus' sake, so that his life may also be revealed in our mortal body. Even though this was a time where they were killing, that's not killing Christians. This is not what he was talking about in this study. Don't take me at my word. In verse 11, he didn't mean a real mortal death this time. He meant that you will always have this sense of, there will always be this sense of inadequacy. Never quite enough. Oh man, somebody's feeling it other than me. There will always be this sense of, I'm just not there. It's the dying. There will always be this sense of, I'm just not good enough. But you are. You were never meant to be good enough. He just needs you to be willing. That's it. He'll be able. Stop beating you up. He beat you up way too much. Yeah, we jacked up. Raise your hand if you're not jacked up. I don't care how long you've been saved. I told you I ain't trying to be preaching. I don't care what they do with this. I'm talking to my family. I don't care how long you've been saved. You got some stuff going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got some things. You got some things that God is revealing in you that you thought was gone.
Oh yeah.
Lie to me and say that you don't. I love the Lord. Yeah, because He brings it up to do what? To bring it out. Yes, okay. Thank you, Father. He reminded me of something He spoke to me in my office. And then I'm sitting down. And we made the Lord watch. All of this good stuff we do at the end. He told me, he said, I allow these things because sometimes it's the only way He can get us to come in.
Oh yeah. Won't hear from us.
He wants to spend time with us. So He allows these things sometimes because it's the only way sometimes we're calling. I'm just talking to my kinfolk, right? I'm just talking to Kim. It's the truth, right? Yeah, we doing when we just floating and everything is just everything just going just right. And you know what the trip thing is when everything going just right and you just get your little groove going, you know, and then this wave hit you. Bam, where'd that come from? Everything just flowing and some promises are being made manifest. You know, it's like getting a new house. Then your job gets troubled. I've been there. She got fired 2 or 3 months after we got a brand new house. Because she wouldn't take the devil's mess. We have those seasons. We didn't lose anything. We didn't have no foreclosures. We ain't lose a thing but us.
Yeah. Thank you, Lord.
Broke us into shreds. I was driving my Volvo, and I'm closing, I promise. I'm just talking. I feel good today. I feel just talking to my family. I was driving my Volvo S60. Pulling up every other week at the check cashing place. You know, I was so embarrassed. I was a pastor, doing hospice. Things were good, but I couldn't feed my family if I hadn't gone to the check cashing place. So every 2 weeks I was borrowing $500 and had to pay back $600. But I made it out. I made it out. Now, y'all may not be able to see God in that. But if He had not done that, and I tell you one thing, it humbled your boy. It humbled your boy. It was hard. It was hard, David. It was hard, man. It was tough.
Yeah.
But I had not once stopped believing that He was good. Not once. You know what I'm saying? I not once stopped believing that He was good. He was still. Didn't have no late pays with our mortgage. Didn't lose no cars. He was good. Thank you, Jesus, for the check cashing place. At that time in my life, that's where my faith was. It was at the check cashing place. You know, I hope this helping somebody. That's relationship with Him. And that's what He's doing, y'all. He's pulling us to a deeper level of relationship. Yeah. And I'm sorry, you may not like it, but it's just kind of hard to know He's a provider without needing provision. Yeah. It's just kind of difficult to know. I didn't say you didn't believe, but to know that He's a healer unless you've been sick. It's just hard to know. It's hard to know that these things that you see, you can believe all you want to, but there's a place that transcends belief to knowing. And knowing is experiential. You got to go through it to get to it. Hallelujah. And I'm so glad that he didn't deliver me quickly out of my troubles. I'm so glad that he taught me how to walk through them. And I'm so glad that he didn't just do his I dream a genie and wiggle his nose and pull me immediately out of something. So I'm glad that he taught me how to be sick and still believe him. I'm glad he taught me how to have nothing and still know and still not feel poor. Not one day did I feel poor when I had to look at the cushions of my sofa for change for bread. I had to peel back the sofa, the cushions, to get a quarter so I could get a loaf of bread. And I never felt poor. Sick as a dog, and I knew it wasn't my life. I knew that I had an expected end. I knew that he was the author and the finisher. I knew that there was something past where I was. Hallelujah. So I'm so glad he taught me how to suffer. We don't want to suffer, but he'll teach you how. Some people, they are rejecting a deep love affair with Jesus because they don't want to go through nothing. You won't forsake him. He said, if you're gonna reign with me, you gotta suffer with me. You don't want to go with me. What did my wife tell me? I don't want to go. You sick, you dying. I ain't coming to the hospital. I'm tired of going with you. How would you feel, men of God, if your wives tell you, I ain't going? Oh, he had a heart attack. How bad is it? He gonna live. Okay, well, I'll see him when he get on. He's calling me when he need a ride. Oh, God is saying, you won't go with me. I did it already. Now I can't answer in closing. Mama, I can't answer for nobody else, but I'm going. I'm going if don't nobody else go. Where else am I going to go, Pastor Parker? Don't nobody else want us? Where we going to go? It's it. Where we going to go? Am I talking? Where you going? Where you going to go? Who wants you? We smell like him. You smell like him to the world. We are stench. Thank you, Lord. Where you going, son? I might as well, as the old folk used to say, get your mic, baby. I might as well go on and what? And see what the end's gonna be. Come on, clap your hands and give God some love. You might as well go on and see what the end's gonna be. You done come this far. You come this far. By grace through faith. You may as well continue. Honestly, maybe if I thought I had somewhere else to go, I might peer over. I ain't got nowhere else to go, literally. I ain't got nowhere to go. I can't. I'm a nerd. I can't dance. I can't go to the club. Never knew how that cabbage patch, knew how to do how that thing Sean, Sean be doing. Do it, Pastor Sean. Come on. Do it like that. Come on, that's so they can see. You be doing that little thing. Yeah, do that. They laugh me out the club. Put them going. Love her too much to trip out. So where you going? That's your name. Where you going? Yeah. So we might as well finish, right? Yeah. So point at him and tell him, give him that shoe, that Maki Dada figure. Give me that color purple Maki Dada. You gonna finish this. You gonna finish this. In Jesus' name, amen. Come on, give God some love.
Amen. Because God don't pay recompense for nothing, right? That means you've been through something. That means you weathered it, you withstood it, you still standing. Amen. So I thank God for His word. But we're going to continue to pray and not be distracted, not take detours and back roads. Amen. To kingdom. Amen. But we're going to be right there on the front line experiencing all God wants us